Beyond the Ring, a podcast that covers all things in the stock show industry from the informative to the insane, starring Ryan Rash.
You can't impress people while being artificial.
And Dale Hummel.
Close your eyes and picture when most citizens were proud to be Americans.
Now on with the show.
Welcome to Beyond the Ring. This is Dale Hummel, along with co-star Ryan Rash.
Hello, hello, hello.
Big week for current events.
Oh my God, there's just so much to talk about.
And I was out of service for most of those days.
I was busy all weekend, and there's still so much all to talk about. Like, Jesus.
I caught up on a little bit of it today, but it just amazes me how deep this Biden corruption goes. And if nobody can logically justify that it is not there. They can't do it.
So, like, my thing is, I guess, whatever. So the guy that testified before the House committee today, first let me say that when you testify before the House, you're not getting any deals cut. It's not like you've got to deal with the DOJ for immunity or like.
Maybe even more so the opposite.
Right, exactly. You're incriminating yourself, and there's nothing. No one's going to help you. And this is Hunter's long life best friend, business partner, all this other stuff.
Ex business partner.
Well, okay, whatever. But we're talking ex business partner deal, really? Like they were in business 3 years ago.
Yep, I agree. They
so
don't.
How
They do not.
ex is it?
They ever since Archer discussed some of these things, he was no longer a friend.
Okay, yeah, right. So anyway, this guy goes and testifies, and first off, they try to put him in jail this weekend so he couldn't testify, FYI. But he said, and I quote, that Hunter would put Vice President Joe Biden on speakerphone in over 20 calls to sell the Biden brand. That is what that man said.
Yeah.
Point blank. There you go.
Do you want me to tell you what the defense is saying?
That they talked about the weather.
No. And this is maybe they'll squirm on it. I don't know. It's crap. So Devin Archer, the gentleman that testified today, the person who testified, I don't think he's a good person, told the oversight committee or the House Oversight Committee that his former business partner, Hunter, and we're using the word former, was selling the illusion of access to his father, not the actual access. That is their defense.
No,
the illusion of access.
I'm not.
That's what you're gonna hear that a lot. I promise.
Okay.
I'm not
so they pointed out. No. This is not the illusion of access. Every time Hunter got on a plane with his daddy and they went to a foreign country, when they came back, he got $1 million check. Multi-million-dollar check.
5 million sometimes.
No, but like they pointed out 6 different countries.
I agree.
Where this was a multi-million-dollar check. This is not
board. I am just telling you what their defense is going to be, that it never actually, it was just pretending like he was going to inflate. That is their case.
Right. That's why Joe went to Ukraine and fired the
Okay, yeah, let's look
AG.
at that one. Yes, that's the best. That to me, this is the most concrete evidence that they have. So Burisma, you have Hunter and Archer in Ukraine meeting with 2 of the lead executives from Burisma after their board meeting. They go out to dinner or drinks or whatever. And they have this informal meeting afterwards, and they're expressing their concern to Hunter and Archer about this prosecutor that is dug deep enough to find some problems that the UK has frozen their accounts. Tens of millions of dollars frozen in the UK. So these execs are pressuring Hunter to get his dad involved to get this prosecutor fired. Exactly 5 days. And there was a call made to DC. They didn't say Joe, but a call from there to DC at that time when they're meeting with these 2 execs. Exactly 5 days later, that prosecutor was fired. And then let's fast forward a little bit further. What does Joe come on TV and brag about? Getting that prosecutor fired 900
million times. Yeah.
Saying that he threatened to withhold X amount of funds from the U.S. unless that prosecutor is fired, who was digging into Hunter and everybody else. The idiot comes out and says this. So right there in itself, if there was nothing else, if there was nothing more, that should be enough to hang him. That in itself.
You would think.
How is that an illusion when it actually took place? And then Joe admitted to it, bragged about it.
Oh, yeah. He was all proud of himself. I mean, there's
amazing.
No doubt.
But I'm telling you right now, and again, I'm not trying to take their side. I want to be very clear. They are going to use that word illusion to try to squirm out of it. And I hope it doesn't work.
And let's just be real honest. The House can't do anything. They can have these committees and bring this evidence and all this other stuff, but they can't throw anybody in jail. They can't press charges. They can't do all this other stuff, but they can bring stuff to light for the public opinion court of the American people, which they're doing. And I guess that's the whole thing. Like,
and it has to be this. I think it will get some of these charges will get tried in the court of law at some point. And then is when they use the word illusion. But yes, you are correct. Even the public opinion thing. The left's going to say it's an illusion. The right's going to say it's not. Somebody with common sense in the middle, I hope, sees it clearly. The
one thing that I am really, I don't know how to feel about all this, because so McCarty is threatening an impeachment inquiry on Biden. Not an impeachment, but an inquiry. And like all these people are like, oh, the Republic, even like people like on Fox are like, they need to be careful. They don't need to do this. They don't need to be like the Democrats. Okay, the Democrats didn't just have an inquiry. They tried to impeach Trump twice.
And had nothing. Twice. No true evidence. Nothing.
And the reason that they want this to happen is because the height of their powers to subpoena, investigate, get all this stuff, all this information is when you have an impeachment inquiry. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I'm on board with it. I'm fine.
Now, I will say, and I said this during Trump stuff, there is no way that Trump was going to get impeached. There's no way Biden's going to get impeached.
No.
I have
we got to be careful. Technically, they will be impeached. Just bringing it up is an impeachment, but not.
No, this right here is an inquiry. It's not.
Yes. Well, what I'm saying, he could get impeached. All they have to do is bring it to the floor, and technically that's impeached.
Okay, but it's not going to work, I guess. It won't ever pass the Senate. No. Let me put it that way.
No.
So I'm fine with the inquiry, but I think
I don't think it passes the House. Doesn't it take 2/3?
No, it's just 50-50.
Oh, okay.
In the House.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It dies there, but it opens doesn't it open the
right, you get more information, you get more evidence, you get all this stuff, but then don't go any further. Because again, it's not going to work in the Senate, so don't be the Democrats. Like, be better than them. But
you have to open it to get.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that part completely, wholeheartedly. And then another thing, and I mean, I don't think we brought this up last week, but so Obama's chef died.
Yes.
In 4 feet of water in a paddle boat.
While on vacation with or on wherever they were.
At Obama's house.
Oh, got it. Yes.
At Obama's house.
Or
with them there.
Or summer house or whatever.
Yes. With them there. Now, what did that man know that he died in 4 feet of water in a paddle boat is what I want to know.
And then how it was recorded, the lady that was with him swam to shore, found the Secret Service to call somebody. It's just, it smells bad. Why did I did not?
And did you see all the pictures today of he's got like 3 busted fingers and a black eye? Barack does.
I did not see that.
Oh yeah. He's got bandages around 3 of his fingers and a black eye.
Now, clarify, as of now or when this happened?
This happened, the pictures were taken today. That guy drowned like last week.
But obviously the black and blue pictures and the fingers was, yeah. That's that. I mean, this smells bad.
Oh, it's not good.
So did you hear, I was, Chase and I were out on an adventure in Utah. We had not much service and it was great.
Right.
But I did not hear about this death until today.
Oh no, he whatever and was missed. First off, was out there. He was at Obama's house paddle boating, and he went missing and whatever.
Like
and
Martha's Vineyard or here in Chicago or
no, Martha's like I think Martha's Vineyard. I can't remember. Wherever his big old fancy little beach house.
I think he might have a couple of those.
I don't know exactly. But anyway, like.
Not in the ocean. We're on a little pond.
No. This is not 4 feet of water.
Well, technically you could drown in a drop of water, Ryan.
Okay, whatever. You keep defending. It's fine.
Is anybody calling bullshit on this?
Well, no, because we've got all this other shit going on. But
hey, speaking of the Obamas, would you like me to pat you on the back about who's going to sweep in and become the primary?
It's not Michelle.
Who is it?
It's not Michelle.
Because she won't do it?
Yep, she's not going to.
I know she says this.
No, she's not going to. It's not going to be
good.
her.
You want me to tell you why that's good?
Because she would win.
I think she would.
She would win.
I am so opposed to that. You have no idea.
No, she would win.
That is my fear.
Now the difference, and I do want to say, okay, the difference between the Clintons and the Obamas is, to me, and again, of course, I've never met these people, but I've done a lot of research.
Don't go down this path. Remember, there was a guy that died in 4 foot of water.
I don't care, but the difference between the Clintons and the Obamas are Hillary was the brains in the Clintons. I do not think Michelle is the brains in the Obamas. I think it is him.
You're going to try to tell me that Obamas weren't as corrupt and lethal.
Oh, no. I just don't think Michelle is the brains.
No, I don't think so.
I think Barack is the brains.
But so I don't think it matters. I think she's still electable.
Oh, I agree, but I don't think so.
Not by me, by any means.
I don't. She has stated 900 million times, even in the last couple of months, that she will never run for president. All this other. I think she is deathly afraid that she will get beat, and that is why she won't do it. But I think she would win. But my whole thing on all that is, even the Democrats now know that Joe is not going to be the nominee.
You know who doesn't know this?
Evidently, Joe doesn't.
No, and I think he's gonna fight back, and it's gonna be.
He's
great.
On the beach having a good time.
10 days. He's on the beach, Ryan.
Leave him alone. He's sunbathing.
Okay, so I don't believe he knows. I'm not saying that it hasn't been mentioned to him, but I don't.
There is a sitting member of Congress about to announce.
I understand this. I'm telling you
that we don't even know who the hell this guy is.
He is not cognitive enough to know what's going on, or somebody explain to him. But when it finally sinks in, he's going to fight back, and it's going to be the best entertainment ever.
Oh, I hope he does. I hope he
remains the nominee.
I don't think he will, because I don't think they're that stupid. But I think
how can they force him not to be.
They can't force him not to be, but they can say, we're going to put your child in jail or you in jail if you don't bow out. Which this is the greatest revelation of the whole week for me. So the Democrats and the mainstream media started this week with this spin that Trump is not really running for president. He is running to stay out of jail. That they think that this is all so he'll get a plea deal and not go to jail. So Trump gets wind of this because it's circulating. It's all over everything. So he goes out at a campaign rally to some country song about going to jail. I don't know which one because I didn't hear it. And he announces, he says, I am telling you right now that if they put me in jail, I will not quit running for president. Period. Paragraph, the end.
And we do know this can happen too, don't we?
Oh yeah, and he gave up there. He said there is no law that says I can't do it.
And who's already proved this?
Joe Exotic, your boyfriend.
Speaking of Joe Exotic, I got an email today from Joe Exotic.
Oh, good.
Would you want me to know what was in that email that he shared?
Does he know how to spell my name now?
I don't. I do not.
I wasn't.
I'm going to. It was very well written. I'm going to. Maybe it was him. I assume it's his attorney. I don't know who wrote it. He pretended.
They're suing us.
No, but you realize shortly, within days after we dropped that episode, and it may not have had anything to do with it.
But they think it has to do with us.
Well, no, I don't. He's not blaming anything. He says they put him in solitary confinement to prevent him from being able to make phone calls, to do interviews or email, to basically shut him up. And I don't doubt. Then it wasn't like he did something wrong that he got put in solitary confinement. They are telling him it's for his own protection. Okay, so he writes a letter.
I don't think anybody cares.
He writes a letter to Trump, and that is what he shared with me. This letter. And I'm not going to read it right now. I showed it to Chase, and he was so excited. He thought we had to post it up on the website.
Let's not. Let's just not.
But he's basically expressing his concern on Trump not pardoning, giving him a pardon. And now
Trump is not the president. He can't
No, when he requested it when he was president.
He doesn't need a pardon.
So he was upset with Trump, and then he says it's interesting that you're seeing some of the crap that went on with him. It's very well written, but basically explains some of the issues with our Department of Justice. So Joe couldn't have written it unless I'm underestimating his intelligence.
Your dog agrees. Joe didn't write it.
Yeah, no, let's be clear. That was a Frenchie. That would not be mine. My dog.
Oh, no, you don't have a dog. You have a dingo.
My dog.
You have a dingo, not a dog.
Dog does not bark.
Right. Because it's a dingo. It has no voice. Next.
This is so untrue. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to bring up. So we talk about all the Hunter things, the laptop. And I mean, there were so many things. They went from the laptop, it wasn't real, to Joe had no knowledge of what his son's business dealings were, wasn't true. All of these things that keep coming up, not true. And your little girlfriend stands up there and tries to manipulate through the reporters, and it just makes it worse and worse. It is a train wreck. I want to look at the bigger picture. So there's a lot of money coming to Joe Biden's family. Let's say the Biden family. I'm not going to say Joe directly, even though I believe it is. To the Biden family from other countries' oil and gas funds. We shut down oil and gas in the U.S., basically energy production significantly when Joe comes to office, make it more difficult and make them think, well, if we invest a bunch of money to do this or that, we're probably going to get it. It's not safe. It's a bad investment at the moment because of the Democrats. And when we do that, the price of oil and gas goes up everywhere else. Biden's profit from it. Basically selling America out. And it's so clear to me, it's not difficult to understand, yet so many Americans can't do the simple math or connect the dots. And that in itself, to me, is impeachment. I know I didn't give you a fact or something that proves this other than just look at it and just use some common sense. But it's discouraging to me how much crap that they have exposed, and he's still the sitting president, Ryan.
Oh, I'm with you.
Just sickening.
It's only getting started. So, I mean, they're not.
By the time they get done, he's going to be, it's going to take too long.
The only other thing that I want to bring up, and just because I absolutely hate hypocrisy. So, you probably don't know anything about this, but there's some guy that's a country singer named Tyler Childers. And he has a song out called In Your Love. And the song's been out for a while, but the video just got released. So we've just gone through all this stuff with Jason Aldean, and he got canceled and whatever. And because of his video.
I still disagree with you on that. I don't have any problem with the courthouse being in there. None.
Okay, whatever.
I love the song.
I love the song too. I have nothing against
how many
Jason.
Rap
Would you let me speak?
He did nothing wrong. Zero.
Whatever. Okay, I didn't say.
Just continue.
Again, I'm going to state, because you're attacking me, I did not say Jason Aldean did anything wrong. I said the production company should have been smarter, is all I said. Nothing wrong with the song, nothing wrong with free speech or freedom of expression. This is my point. Anyhow.
I say piss on the left. It obviously worked. It offended them, brought more attention. It worked out perfect.
Okay, then you did good. You just like the rest of these rednecks. Anyway, so Tyler Childers releases this song. The video comes out. The song's title is In Your Love. It is a very pretty song, but the video is about a gay love story. Two coal miners in love, all this stuff. Country music song, two coal miners in love, all this stuff. These people are flipping out. Flipping out. Now, hold up. Y'all know I don't give a shit about anything, pride, whatever. You cannot have it both ways. You can't say that Jason Aldean's been wronged and all this other stuff because his riots video and all this other stuff and talking about it.
Real footage.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with that, but you can't say that he should get to put out whatever he wants, but another guy the next week can't put out a gay love song. Yeah, exactly. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression should not have stipulations.
I apologize.
Yeah, what you got to say now, bitch?
No, I was texting while you're talking about the gay love song, so I kind of missed that a little bit. Well, I don't even know. I apologize. So they blocked it?
There are people trying to cancel it, and there's rednecks pissed off about it and all this other stuff. Some people love it. So,
did we have a couple guys kissing on camera or something?
I have not watched the video. I have heard the song. I've heard the lyrics. But it is a video about two gay coal miners and their love story.
And I'm not going to say it shouldn't be shown, but I'm going to tell you that two guys kissing on camera is going to
I don't give a shit if they kiss, they got whatever. You can't have it both. You can't stand up and say Jason Aldean should get to do whatever the hell he wants to in a video, and this week say two gay guys can't kiss in a country music video. You can't do that.
I am not saying that. All I'm saying it's going to make some people feel uncomfortable, which...
Okay, but you were pissed off as hell that the left was uncomfortable about the courthouse.
Oh, I think it's actually good because it brought more publicity to the song.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Do we have any more? We're running a little long on Turn.
No, I'm done because you're a hypocrite. You're just like everybody. You're a hypocrite.
Both of them should be allowed to play. I'm fine with it.
Exactly. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression should not have stipulations.
They won't be popular with some people.
Okay, but you railed against the people.
I didn't even know about the gay love song. I didn't have a clue about. I never heard.
Yeah, but you're not popular with some people. Jason Aldean should be knighted by the Queen of England.
Yes. God live the Queen or whatever.
Hypocrite. Hypocrite. That is what you are.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm moving on. Next, BTRJLA news, and this is going to take a minute, but first off, top 10 senior cattle in the nation right now. First place, J.W. Powers from Idaho. Second place, Caleb Hall from Idaho. Third place, Lane Bauer of Ohio. Fourth place, Delaney Lucy of West Virginia. Fifth place, Cade Lott of Mississippi. Sixth place, Tyler of Arizona. I am so sorry.
Try it. Just try it.
Pouquette. Pouquette. Tyler, I am so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I tried. But Tyler is 6. He's from Flagstaff, Arizona. Grace Grosetta.
He won't mind at all. His parents.
From Arizona is 7th. Jacob Sansom of Texas is 8th. Benjamin Burling of Kansas is 9th. And Callie Rummel of Montana is 10th. So congratulations to all of y'all. I have had lots of people contact me this week for sponsorship on the region level, and I appreciate that. Region 1, good news for you. Radiant Reds has accepted to be the GOAT sponsor for Region 1. Curly Cattle has already been the cattle sponsor. ICB NorCal, Shannon Stone has been the sheep sponsor, and I am in negotiations. It's not firm with a pig sponsor, so I think Region 1 is going to be fully sponsored. And I also have news that Region 4 is now fully sponsored, thanks to Stock Show Therapies, Creed Garrett, Richie Show Steers, and Dobble Show Pigs. And that is the sponsor that I want to highlight tonight. Dobble Show Pigs is located in Cambridge, Illinois, and is owned and operated by Chris and James Dobbles. The primary focus of the operation is raising high-quality, competitive, and banner-winning crossbred genetics. Dobble Show Pigs strive valiantly to produce barrows and gills that can compete at the highest and most elite levels of showring competition and maintain their exceptional customer service at all stages of the process. This has always been and will be their top priorities. Please feel free to call them anytime at 309-507-1400 1829, and they will be glad to help you with your show pig needs. Double Show Pigs wish all of the BTRJLA Region 4 hog exhibitors the best of luck and are proud to support them in their goals and success. So it looks like 2 of our 5 regions are going to be fully funded. Region 2, we're halfway there. We've got cattle and we've got pigs. Region 3, we need goats. Region 5, we need some help. That's all. Region 5, we need y'all to step up. Susan Berner from the Interstate Showdown sponsored goats, but the rest of it, it's looking a little bleak for Region 5.
Let's get them going. I'm going to go back to the Chris and James Dobbles. I actually coached 2 of their brothers in college.
So can I tell you a really cool story about this? So one of their customers sent this sponsorship. They loved them so much and how much they've helped. They spent the sponsorship in to promote them.
That's impressive.
I think that's really, really cool.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I know the Dobbles family very well. Roomed with one of them in grad school, and yeah, great people. So I thank you very much for.
And also the other thing that I have to say about BTRJLA, we do not have a national goat sponsor. So anybody that wants to step up, let me know, because that's the only.
I bet I can find somebody for that one.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, that's the only national species that we don't have a sponsor for. But again, please, I really appreciate all. I mean, like I said, I had 4 or 5 people that have contacted me. Not everything is done, but I really do think Region 4 is completely sponsored. I believe Region 1 will be completely sponsored. 2, 3, and 5, talk to me.
They will. They're going to call. Okay, onward. As temperatures hit record highs at many places across the country and water intake becomes even more critical, ShowFresh H2O has a product to help by neutralizing the chlorine in the water, thus in turn makes the water more palatable for your show stock. This is simple. Pick up ShowFresh H2O at your local farm store, supply trailer, or order online at swampfox.com. Thank you, ShowFresh H2O.
Yeah.
Main topic time. Would you like to tell them the title since this is kind of your topic?
Don't tell a judge how to judge.
Yeah, that's an easy one, isn't it? Don't tell a judge how to judge.
You would think. It would be so easy, but it's not.
Are we going to hear stories?
And yes, you're going to hear stories. But Dale doesn't agree with me because he says that this doesn't happen. It's just all made up in my imagination, and it's not. But
I'm not saying never. It does not happen to me.
You see all the messages and the texts and the snaps I get, so don't tell me it doesn't happen. You see them. I send them to you.
Think you must request it or something.
I do not request shit.
I do not know.
No.
Do I find humor in it? Yes.
I'm the one.
Most.
No, it's not funny.
It's
not
for me.
funny.
It is when you share them with me and I see it and I think, wow.
It's not funny. Because, okay, so here's my point on all this, and we'll start with this, because there's 3 different layers to this. So we will start with
way more than 3, but go ahead.
Well, we're going to touch on 3. So we'll start on parents, brokers, breeders, whatever, contacting a judge. So you think it's funny. Okay, but I am on this podcast every single week now for we're 3.5 years into it or whatever. And I have said, don't follow them in, don't do this, talked about this 100 times. And these people still send this crap to me. So if they send it to me, think about every other person that doesn't have a platform like this, that doesn't get to say, don't do this shit to me, how much it's sent to them. You think it's funny now?
I have never had a picture sent. And you're the only one that has shared pictures. I've heard of it, but you're the only one that's ever provided evidence. But I do believe you've made it clear that it happens. There's no question it's happening. What I don't understand, I assume the people sending them to you are not listening to the podcast.
I don't care if they're listening or not. It's that you don't do this. Do not. And again, I am going to state, I don't care if it is a Snapchat, a Facebook message, whatever. And like the whole thing, I did see you say people aren't listening. I do know people are listening because they have changed their MO now. Instead of, oh, here's my calf or here's my pig or whatever, all this other stuff. Now they are doing shit like, oh, well, we all know you're going to use so-and-so because it's so-and-so's animal, or I just want you to know that XYZ is supposed to win the show, but they really hate you and talk shit about you and all this stuff. Like,
They're putting a story with it now.
Right. Now it's not use me, it's I'm going to take somebody else out by telling them they don't like you, or they're bragging that they've got it sewn up, or all this other stuff.
Do they not become even more creative and talk about exhibitor? You need to.
Oh
use,
yeah,
yes. I don't want to share anything you don't want to share. But
they put all these names in that I don't even know who these people are.
Or there was some tragedy, or there's this person you really they're down in the dumps, or whatever.
Or yeah, exactly. Like there's this horrible events happened, or what? I mean, all this stuff. And again, it may all be real. It may all be fake. There's a lot of people that talk shit about me. Okay. It is not going to affect one thing that happens in that arena.
See, you are better than me because I probably, and I would do my best
but it's not
to.
that kid that sends
That's
it,
what
Dale.
I'm saying. I'm telling you, I would do my best to avoid it, but subconsciously, I'm afraid it would impact me. Not in a good way. Just that is being honest.
And I'm not saying that subconsciously, if I knew the parties at hand, it probably would. But most times, 95%, I don't know the person that sent it or anybody that they're talking about.
I think I have a solution.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to hear it? You should threaten. Not threaten, you should follow through with it, but just make the statement the next time you get a picture and a story from somebody, you're going to put it on you're going to copy it on your Snap or social media or wherever.
And that is a great idea. And I have thought about that, and it's been suggested multiple times by people that I truly value their opinion like you, and it's going to hurt a kid.
I would hope.
And it's going to embarrass a kid in a family that they may not even know that it happened.
And I respect that, but at the same time,
if there was a way to redact everything where I knew that person could still be called out, but it would not hurt a child or a family that may have no idea that this is going on, then I would.
I'm going to say the parents generally know.
And again, some of them may, some of them may not. But I don't know that.
And I think even if you put it up there, there's going to be a select few that figure out who that child is. So I get that. I get it.
I would never do anything to cause a child embarrassment. And that's the problem. But the whole thing
I don't see it stopping any other way, no matter how much you preach on it.
And the other thing is, so I do know people are listening, because now, while I still get them, the newest trend is, and Dale knows, I have a very, very small circle of people, like small. And so now, instead
I'm not even in there on a given day, depending on my
what the hell ever. So the smarter ones are now contacting those few people in the inner circle. Hey, could you put a bug in Ryan's ear? And of course, they all say, absolutely not. If you want me to, that's great. You'll get your ass beat, because they know better. But
I don't think I've gotten those. I've had things like, can you get Ryan to judge this show? Those kind of things.
Well, I'm telling you this is happening. I'm just telling you.
I believe this. I do believe this.
And those people, of course, tell them to go get bent. But here's the thing.
I was told to promote your snow cones. Does that count?
Well, those were cool. Those were badass. But here's the thing, folks. And it doesn't matter if it's me or anybody else who's judging. If you have to use those type of tactics, either, oh, hey, here's my KF, we've won the last 5 shows, or whatever, all the things I've talked about. Here's the problem. You either don't have confidence in your stock or you don't have confidence in the sorter. And either way, it's not going to work. And I am telling you, anybody that is a judge, that is reputable, that is knowledgeable, competent, and intelligent, when you do that kind of shit, if it doesn't offend them, it should. Because what you're saying to that person is, I don't think you're smart enough of finding this one without me cluing you in. And that's just all there is to it.
Does that offend you?
It offends me more than anybody can even imagine.
I could hear it in your voice.
I mean, flames on the side of my eye. Yeah.
I think we got off topic a little bit.
No, it is topic. This is what we're talking. Don't tell a judge how to judge when you have to send a picture of your calf to the person sorting tomorrow. Say,
Or
hey,
pig,
this
don't be
calf, pig, sheep, goat, reindeer. I don't care. Bunny rabbit. That is saying to that person who's sorting, I don't think you're smart enough to find this one without me cluing you in, so I'm going to give you a little help.
Agreed.
Am I wrong?
I know that's how you take it. I assume
How explain to me how you take it any other way.
No, that is how others would just say, well, thank you for the help, maybe. I don't know.
Then they don't need to be out there.
This is very accurate, yes. If it doesn't work, would they continue to send them? Are they that ignorant?
No, I'm telling you, like, I don't.
Did you get one this week that I was unaware of?
Yes.
You didn't share it with me.
You had no service.
Occasionally there were some towns that we stayed in that I didn't have service.
There was important stuff that happened before Saturday and that you didn't even want to talk about. You didn't care. And like majorly, and you made me mad.
Chase and I were on an adventure. We need
I
some.
do not give a shit about your SUV adventure.
It was good.
Yeah, but and there is if you were a judge and somebody sends you something and all this and you don't take it as I'm gonna help you find this one, then
I would be more angry than you. Does that help?
Oh, and again, because this other just if don't, and again, this topic is don't tell a judge how to judge. You don't have to go to that show. You don't have to show to that person. No one, there is no law. There is no gun held to your head that says you have to do this. So if that is what you think you have to, just stay the hell
They might
home.
need the BTR JLA points.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, do we have other levels?
Yeah, but and yes, and again, I'm gonna save the other one for last.
And this is what you've just said. The last 10 minutes or 15. It's not gonna. You've already done this before. It's not gonna. I know you think it's gonna stop it, but it's not. I'm just telling you.
Thanks, Dale.
It's
Thanks.
not. It's not.
Why don't you just sign off and I'll finish this by myself?
Oh my!
And again, I don't understand how you think this is funny.
Because
it's not funny.
you continue
it is not
to
funny.
You have brought this up how many times?
But it's not funny because I'm telling you, Dale, if it happens to me as much as think about how much it happens to everybody else.
Wouldn't you assume they're going to have a similar response to you and it's going to hurt these people? So let them hang themselves. Have at it.
You're just hurting kids. You're just hurting kids.
The people that are sending it, yes.
And I can't just say let them hang themselves. When I'm telling you,
I can.
90% of the time, I don't think a kid has a freaking clue.
I think if the child is 16 or over, they probably do. Now the little ones know.
Anyway, so then another, and like, this is probably going to get some hate mail, and that's fine because I guarantee you the last point I'm going to talk about is going to get hate mail. But so there have been many times, and I'm not saying it's increasing, but it's steady. Many times when I'm judging a show, I don't ask questions. I talk to them, but very few times do I ask a birth date or ask a weight or any. I just don't. I don't. But like a kid will say something like, "This one was actually due to Cav on its 2-year-old birthday, but she lost her calf 2 months ago." All this other stuff, or this one fell out of the trailer, or this one just got ringworm here. I mean, and they're giving an excuse for something that is they feel is inferior in their animal. And
the excuse may be a reason or
a reason, whatever. And here's the thing. Number one, you should not do that because now the person knows for sure. Like you've pointed it out to them. That's number
pushing
one.
The top down on the lamb.
Right. Just like pushing top down on lamb and goat when you're walking around. Like, here it is. Oh, by the way, mine was perfectly sound until it fell out of the trailer and now it's lame. Okay, bad idea. Secondly, again, and I can only speak for myself, while I want to believe that child, and I am not saying that they are lying or anything else, I also, it just raises this thing like, if you have to bring it up to me, somebody's told you that you need to do this, and they think that that's going to get you by. And it just puts a bad connotation to the whole deal.
I can agree with that. Occasionally, I will be told. I've been told those things many times. I do occasionally appreciate when they tell them that this calf's going to kick or a little bit crazy. Those things are okay.
But that's not pointing out a flaw in an animal.
I'm just saying the communication between.
I don't have any. I want them to communicate with me, but I also and another thing is like, for instance, if they think that one is light or whatever, well, full, he weighs this.
Yes, that
you know what
I hear that a lot,
and I'm like, no, it doesn't, and I didn't ask you for the weight anyway.
It might. You don't know that.
Pretty good.
And there are cases at county fairs, the scales are off a little bit. I can't argue. I mean, that's going to happen.
But I didn't ask for the weight.
Well, maybe they thought it was important to tell you.
So I just think that's something that I don't see any benefit in doing that ever. Now, you tell me what the benefit.
You're hurting the kid again by discounting them when they do that.
I'm not, but what is the benefit? But see, that is the child saying that to me. That's not a third party.
They were told to say it if under the age of 16.
They still did it. They didn't have to. You think I listened to my parents and my fitters when I was a kid? The hell I did. But tell me the benefit in that, Dale. Seriously.
They're trying now. Okay, let's use a hypothetical. They had a calf that was fine. I mean, just a calf, not a great calf, not terrible, just a calf. And he did pull something or hurt his foot when he came off the trailer. That child that put that much time and effort into that project, to them, they may think it's important that you at least hear why it is limping. Not asking for you to overlook it, but just let you know that, hey, I'm aware that it's limping and he did hurt himself coming off the trailer. I'm probably okay with that.
Maybe.
That is a justification if that exhibitor, that child just wants you to know that I'm aware of it and I brought him out anyway. This is what happened. I'm okay with it. It's not going to.
I think you would be better off just saying, "How are you, sir, ma'am," and going on. I'm just going to be real honest.
I'm okay if there's something like that true. Now, if we're just trying to make an excuse for an unsound calf, sure, no, I'm out. But there are situations that it wouldn't bother me, I should say.
Okay, but
see, I'm trying to limit the hate mail to me and more to you.
Right, of course you are. That's your favorite thing in life to do. But and then this is the big one. And again, this is going to get the most hate mail, and I don't care. But you just
spent 20 minutes on pictures. in stories and made up things.
This is way worse. So if you are a show manager or a show official or whatever, committee chairman, beef superintendent, whatever you are, you should never, and I mean never, ever tell a judge how to judge a show. In any way, shape, form, or fashion. It does not matter. Whoever was in charge, they hired that person because they felt that person's expertise, knowledge, opinion, etc. was worthy of judging that show. You let that individual go out there and do it the hell the way they want to. Because I'm telling you something right now. And the problem is the large majority of people who run these shows and pick judges and all the stuff have never judged one. And Dale, if you disagree with me on this, I'm going to call bullshit. When you go out there to judge a show, I don't care. Like I can remember a show that Dale and I were at together watching his kids' show. And this person had them lined up back asswards from any way we would ever do it. But it wasn't the show telling them to do it that way. That is the way that person wanted to see them lined up. And that is the way that person thought they could get the best view of those animals, etc. We thought it was bizarre.
Wasn't it showing to the offside?
Yes.
So no, I disagree.
Don't say the damn name of the show.
I'm not. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not believe they did that to get the best look at the animal. I believe they did that out of ignorance.
The show officials didn't tell them to do it that way, though. They were just as mortified as the rest of us.
In this situation where they have the kids trying to show to the offside, I don't know why. I think he's just confused, didn't know. I don't know the reason, but there's not a good one. As a show official, under that circumstance, when it's confusing the shit out of the kids, it's just not working at all. As a show official, I probably say, hey, let's maybe turn them this way. Let's flip this. And you may disagree with it, but I would step in that case.
I still believe that because I went up and talked to that person after the show. And
Ryan,
that person
there was no advantage.
I agree with that, but I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You cannot tell somebody how to do it. My mother had 900 million huge ass shows in the state of Texas, and I can't tell you how many times throughout they would come in. You've got to speed her up. You've got to speed him up. This is taking too long. Although you can't walk out there and tell that person that, because the first thing that is going to do is they're going to, oh shit, people think I'm slow. People think I'm dumb. It's the same way with everything. You just can't do it.
Now, with that topic, real quick, if there's a scheduled grand drive or something, I am not opposed to them saying, hey, we have this at this time.
But you say that at the beginning.
Yes. And again, and not saying, not telling the judge you have to be done by then, but hey, we've got this going on. If you can facilitate it.
We have a grand drive set at 6 p.m. and whatever, all this stuff. Now you get up to the point that you think you're not going to make it. I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't say, hey, just in case you don't know, it's 4:30. We're on whatever. We've got this many head left and this, whatever. I get that.
But unfortunately,
but you cannot consistently go out there and say, you got to hurry. You got to hurry. You got to hurry. You got to hurry.
Do it that time. They're probably already going as fast as they can.
They literally, because you've told them at the beginning, and most people have a watch. So it's not going to do anything but make that person feel self-conscious. And judging is all a mental mindset. And when you tell somebody, well, you're going to line them this way, and this is how we've done it for 900 years, and this is the way we want to do it, and this is how you're going to do it, all that, you are literally affecting that person. It may not be a huge thing, but you're still affecting that person. You cannot do it. And I'm going to use me as an example, and I don't care. Y'all can all get pissed off, and I don't care.
I don't know if I have your email, but I may send you hate mail.
That's fine. I am fast. I'm not even saying I'm efficient. I'm fast. And I'm fine with being fast. This is not a new development. This is nothing that has not, from the time I started judging at 18 years old, I am fast. If you don't like that, and you are a show manager that wants somebody that takes more time, all this other stuff, whatever, don't hire me. If you are a family that wants their kid to get lots of ring experience with a judge that is out there longer, all this stuff, don't come show to me. No one, again, this is just like that. No one is holding a gun to your head or forcing you to hire me or show to me. But do not tell me to slow down. Why are you laughing?
Because of the story. So you're using this, and so you're basically saying this did happen to you.
Oh, it's happened several times.
Okay.
Several times. Don't tell me to slow down.
May I ask your response?
Don't tell me how to judge.
Okay.
And it has been more graphic than that before, but don't.
Yes, it has been much.
Don't
more.
tell me how to judge.
That is what I'm laughing about. The graphic response on occasion.
Again, I have. It would be okay if I had judged 50 shows and taken 2 minutes per animal, and then one show I'm at 45 seconds an animal, which is my average. Okay, I could get it. Hey, you're super fast day. I am the same speed every damn time. I average 45 seconds an animal. You don't like it? That's fine. I totally respect and admire show managers and show families that want more time in the ring. They want their judged, whatever. I speak to every kid that comes in the ring, regardless if it is on the mic or in person. I tell every single child what is right, what is wrong about their animal, all this other stuff, because I know when they walk in how they're going to be aligned. That's how it is. And if you don't like that, that is fine. I get it. I am fine with you not liking it, but do not hire me and then tell me how to do it differently.
I would say that's very simple. Now everybody that is listening is aware.
Everybody's been aware for years.
Well, I don't know that everybody that's hired you has heard that, or I would assume no. I just don't know how much research they do sometimes. If somebody came up to him and said, "Hey, I would love to have Ryan Rash judge the show," the superintendent says, "Well, that's a good person, probably a good recommendation." They do it. Done. Or they call me to get your phone number.
And again, not just on the speed thing, but don't tell me that I can't bring them in this way because you've done it at this county fair for 45 years this way, and this is what. Let me bring them in the best way that I'm going to be able to evaluate them. I'm going to be able to look at them, all this other stuff. Again, every show ring is different. There are holes, there are hills, there are valleys, there are spots where there is no light. There are spots where there is great light. And I look at all of that. That is why I show up to the show 30 minutes early. I try to be there 30 minutes early every single time so I can evaluate the ring, the lighting, all of these things, so I can get an idea of the best way that they can be brought in, set up, presented, all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. It's not for my health.
I would say that 90% of the shows that I go to, I'm not saying the superintendent, but somebody working the ring will come up and say, "How would you like this done?" So it's not, in my experiences, most of the time they're pretty.
You don't judge nearly as many county fairs as I do.
No, I don't. I can't. I'm going to tell you now. I don't. Very few at this point.
Exactly.
Very few.
And that is normally where their problem is. Well, this is the way we've done it for 45 years.
No, I think you're right. In the jackpot shows, usually there's somebody managing that. That's
no, it's not. I'm telling you. I am telling you where it is. It's at the county fair.
I can believe that. I can't. I can't remember the county fair days very well, so I don't know. But most of the shows, the jackpots and beyond, they're very cordial about that. And if there's something that's done out of tradition, if it makes any sense at all, I'm okay with. Or even in a situation where maybe there was a show the previous day and the kids were used to coming in this gate and going out, as long as it doesn't hinder what I'm doing, I'm okay with it. But you're right.
And I'm not saying that I am dead, whatever. I get what you're saying. If they had show the day before and they bred them in this way and whatever, and it's not going to like completely screw shit up, okay, I can deal with that. I'm not completely unreasonable and it's my way or the highway. And this isn't just me, Dale. This is everybody. You should let that person that's judging do it the way they want to, because I honestly believe that no one goes out there to do a bad job ever.
No, I don't think so either.
And they want it this way, and then oh well, we think that's we've never done it like that, and that's dumb. We want to do it this. Then again, you have put a notion in their head. Okay, you're stupid. We're going to do it our way.
Well, I do believe there are some judges, maybe more at the county fair level, that don't understand that animals need to walk in a certain in a clockwise manner, or they need to set up on or view them from the. I think some judges just are that inexperienced or confused that sometimes it would be good for the ring help to say, well, let's just do it this way, when it's totally backwards.
And again, I am.
Have you seen at a show that you were watching, not judging, the judge having them come in and try to lead the animals around the ring?
I have seen everything that you could ever imagine.
Doesn't that just make you scratch your head?
Okay,
somebody's got to tell this person.
I'm telling you. Okay, but Callie Ellis has been there when this. One time we're at a show. I'm not judging. We're watching, and there's stuff going on that I don't understand. And so I walked up to the announcer stand. I said, I just want to know, is this how y'all normally do it? Or is this how the judge wants it done? They said, no, this is how the judge wants it done. I said, okay. Because if it was, I walked away. And Callie's literally having a heart attack because I'm like, I can't keep my mouth shut. I have to find this out. And because if they would have told me, no, this is how we do it, whatever, I would have, in a very nice way, explained why I thought there were flaws in this system. But they said that's the way the judge wanted it. That's the way the judge wants it. By God, that's how it needs to be.
Under those circumstances, I'm going to assume lack thereof experience, maybe intelligence.
This man was very old. This was not a lack of experience.
Maybe cognitive awareness.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, this person was not.
I mean, those things drive me crazy, because those kids that have actually worked at it and those animals are used to going the right. It's penalizing the good kids to a certain degree when things like that happen. So those things bother me. I do not like anything about it.
No, I mean, my thing is, and I'm just being as honest as I can be, I know my confidence level in what I love, loathe, like, dislike, can live with in all things livestock. And I also know that there is a section of younger judges or judges that haven't judged as much that probably are not at that level of confidence yet. They probably will be. And if the things that happen to me happen to them, I would be very concerned of how it would affect their ability to sort that show. And I'm just being completely honest.
I can agree with that completely. I want to use an example that, to my knowledge, you and I are one of the few. I'm sure there's others that do it, but not many. When we have a show ring that's not huge and you've got a cattle show going on, and we pull them off the right like you would a lamb or a goat show. I've seen,
and it works wonderfully and beautifully, and it's easier for everybody and all this other stuff. And every old man in the county fair thinks I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I'll look out at the audience, maybe not as much as you do, but you can just tell. The first time I go in there, and I tell the ring help, I say, I understand this is not normal. The first class, the kids may not going to be 100% aware of it, but in this size ring, this is going to work a lot better for us. And they're usually good with it, but you can scan the crowd and think, well, that dumbass is moving these cattle totally wrong.
You and I do that. There's a couple other people to do it. And I don't care if the ring's huge or the ring's tiny. It makes the flow better. But see, this is the thing that I think, obviously, Dale, you are treated a different way than I am. Because not only, number one, you were very heterosexual, and you were also older.
Now, careful on the second one. We don't know your age, so we cannot be sure.
Well, okay, then you look a whole hell of a lot older.
Okay.
But they look at me, and I'm this flamboyant, whatever. They're like, no, we're going to tell you what to do. We don't care who you are.
There are some that I'm sure do approach.
And again, I am telling you, this happens only primarily at the county fair level. But anyway,
are you saying I'm the recipient of white privilege?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes, you were definitely the recipient of white privilege because nobody tells you, no, you can't do it that way. And I'm telling you, it's about, it may not be 50-50, but I'd say it's 45-55 when they tell me, oh, well, we would rather you do it this way.
At each show?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah,
and it may be something as simple as we don't want you to pull them off the walk, or I mean, it's something trivial, but it's still, you don't tell a judge how to judge. You just don't. You hired that person for their opinion. You let them do him the way you want to, unless it's an absolute train wreck. You let that person go out there and do it. And if it is an absolute train wreck, I'm just going to tell you this much. Just like at that show we were at, Dale, I could have walked out in the middle of the ring and been like, hey, bud, I just got done judging cattle over here. We might need to rethink this. It wouldn't. And I'm not saying that was a train wreck, but if it had been, it was bizarre, that wouldn't have helped a damn thing.
No, probably
It
not.
would not have.
See, I put it back on the person that hired them then at that point. If it's a train wreck, I'm not even blaming the judge. They were hired to do it. They should have done, whoever called that person or decided to hire that person, that's where the responsibility falls.
And again, I beat this step, but I am going to say this. If you want to get a reaction out of me, the easiest way to get a reaction out of me is to tell me, because I am fast, I don't care about kids and I don't care about the show. You want a reaction, you'll get one when you say that shit to me, because that is bullshit. No one beats the roads, leaves my family, leaves my friends, all this stuff like I do to go to these shows to be with these kids. Don't tell me I don't care because I judge fast. You will get a reaction, I promise, and you won't like it. The end.
I like that you came out with your 45 seconds an animal. I put thought into that earlier today when you suggested this.
I know what my time is. Do you know how many people have timed me over the years? I know what it is.
Yeah, and I think that,
but
obviously,
also, again, I speak to every kid. I say on the mic or in person what is right, what is wrong with and in detail. So if I can do it in 45 seconds and do it well.
I think it in a smaller show. I think it at a county fair. I don't think I'm going to guess at a jackpot show or any larger show, you've never been accused of being too fast. Maybe by people trying to fit cattle.
The fitters don't like it, but they're not also going to come up and.
But whatever. For the most part, I bet at the larger shows, that's not happening. A lot of times when we've got shows so big, we just got to move to get the darn thing completed at a decent hour. But at your smaller county shows, that have fewer animals, that's where
then hire somebody else.
I agree. I'm just pointing out that I doubt this happens beyond the county fair level too.
And I said that. But again, hire somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. I am not saying, but don't hire me and then tell me that because I am fast, I don't care about kids or care about the show. I will literally lose it all over you.
I can verify that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good at forgetting things, by the way. I did not forget about that one.
No. And I promise you that person didn't either.
Oh, you could have no, I'm not even going to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I tell you. It isn't ever going to change anything.
No, I have come this far doing it this way. And I'm telling you, more people, even at the county fair level, just at the showdown in Iowa this weekend, at the show before that, at Michigan, we love it that you are so decisive and so efficient, and yet all this other stuff. It is 98% the opposite way and the 2% the other way. But the 2%, it is not, you may piss me off and I'll be mad for 30 minutes. It's not going to change me. But I also say again, if this happens to me on any of these levels that we've talked about, think about how much it happens to other people that it could affect them and their psyche way, way more. And I want the best for everybody. I want the best for the judges. I want the best for the show. I want the best for the kids. And I just don't think this is the way to do it.
So I just thought of one situation that I wanted to bring up, and we're going back a little bit. And then we're going to move into your favorite part. So I have not been approached by a superintendent or a ringman saying, hey, this is my kid, or can you, any of those things you talked about. I know, I'm saying I have not of any of those you discussed. However, I have had superintendents or people on the staff, whatever you want to call it, basically make it clear who their children were. Does that make sense?
Oh, and just like we talked about lunch breaks, when little Susie comes up and you're in their lunch break and comes up to say hi to daddy or ask that, all this other. No, I have seen it every single way. Whatever. Oh, by the way, this is little Johnny and whatever and all this stuff. I have it. I'm telling you, recently, we're not going to talk about how recently, but recent in this year, I have had more than one say, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if we've had problems with this one exhibitor's family, yada, 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 and all the reasons why they don't want that person to win. And it's the same way with, like somebody wins a class. Oh my God, that's the greatest kid and the greatest family and da-da-da. Don't say that shit. Do not.
I can see that. I can see that happening a lot.
It does. Just don't do it. Do not do it. Because again, it is not going to affect me.
But it may affect others. That's why.
But think about the kid that's fresh off the college judging team. He or she's standing out there. Kid wins a class and the superintendent's out there working the arena. Oh my God, you don't know how great a kid that is. Yada, 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 yada. This is real life, folks. Real life. Yeah, people are not, I'm telling you, this is a real problem. Okay, I'm done.
You have to bring us in with your sponsor.
I do, and I want to thank Basic Animal Health for being the question and answer sponsor of the Beyond the Ring podcast. Basic Animal Health is dedicated to providing natural solutions for your animal's needs. They offer 3 products: gut health, show focus, and trailer ride. And if you go to www.basicanimalhealth.com and purchase any of these products and you use the code BTRJLA at checkout, we get a percentage of the profits from that purchase that goes directly into the awards for the end of the year. So thank you, Basic Animal Health.
I did not have I had plenty of time, but I did not take a lot of time to find your question and answers. For everybody that doesn't know, it's 10:30 p.m. Central Time. What, Monday night? Is that where we're at?
Yes, it's Monday.
So Clifton was busy. Ryan was on a flight. We just had a lot of conflict. So this was the only time it was going to work. And I did have some downtime to look them up, and I didn't go very deep. But I think
you were playing with your state fair steer. We know.
I think they're good questions.
Huh?
Okay, the first one we have addressed before talking about it in discussion. But here's one that's submitted from Barbie. Hi, Dale and Ryan. What do you think about the new hair growth on pigs? I've seen some videos with hair longer than cattle. What's your opinion on it?
And we have talked about this. I don't have any problem with getting the pigs hairy. What I have a problem with is, and I don't have a problem with painting them, dyeing them, fitting them, whatever, all this other stuff. It is just like the plaster Paris on the goats and all this other stuff. When it goes to the point that it is distracting and it is not natural or enhancing the look of that animal, I think that's a problem. And because this is a relatively new trend in pigs, there is as much of that as there is helping the animal. So that's where I would caution you.
Yes. And Barbie, I think if it's somebody that's in those trenches and they realize, hey, this is, they're used to seeing it, they're going to be more accepting of it. I would have to have it well conditioned and healthy looking and not scrubby and long and coarse and dry, because to me that just reads old. And I understand that most of our pigs, we're showing them older, we're showing goats, we're showing everything older. I get it, but there's no reason to put that red flag on there and say I'm showing a yearling hog. I'm kind of out on that, but it's there. I get it. If it's done very well, kind of like what you said, Ryan, if we twine legs or build legs and it's done well, great. Anything less than that, probably distracting and works to a disadvantage to a certain degree. And unfortunately, when I say done really well, that's maybe the top 20% across species. There's more that are not done well than done well. So same thing applies here. If that hair is conditioned, that skin's in good shape, and I can handle it a little bit longer, but not just a coarse, boar-looking mess. No, I'm out. Out. Amanda. Oh, this is good. We haven't had this for a long time, Ryan. Uh-huh. And I pulled the last 3 questions submitted, so you can't say I went digging for this one. Why? Hello. You've talked crunchy sheep before.
Oh, sweet mother of God.
This is your question. You did talk about this. You did. I believe I know what you meant by that, but screw the unicorns and rainbows. You hear that, Troy? She's saying screw Troy. Screw the unicorns and rainbows.
Why you gotta pick on Troy again? Damn it.
Can you go more in depth and detailed on some practices that are done that shouldn't be done, and other practices that maybe were once frowned on but now are normal and accepted, all species? Ooh, that'd take 5 podcasts.
That's a whole, that's like a series on the frowned on.
I like the question, man. I get it.
I will address the crunchy sheep thing. So the crunchy sheep deal is the fact that when a sheep is aired, if the air has not had time to dissipate, the hide hasn't had time to fill in with fat, all the things, then it's, when you handle that animal, it is crunchy. Like, that's
like popping. Maybe
you can feel the air bubbles. They're crunchy. Yeah, crunchy.
I'm going to go a step.
Like, I don't know how to explain it any more than that.
Yeah, so it's a problem. And yeah, I'm going to let you finish.
Well, I mean, that's it. That's all. I mean, that she asked, what is crunch? That when you air the sheep and it hasn't had time to completely do the job, then, and you can feel the air bubbles, it's crunchy.
And
Like, what else do you want me to say?
I'm going to go on the record that this is not a humane practice in any manner.
I didn't say it was.
No,
I didn't say it was humane or legal or anything. But like,
I'm just giving.
she asked to say what it was. That's what it is.
I can assure you there is nothing pleasant about it for the lamb or the goat that's taking place by any means. And she was asking about other practices that are maybe more accepted now. And unfortunately, Amanda, I don't know that they're accepted by many people, but there is a larger percentage of them doing it. And the biggest reason that I hear when someone comes up to me because I've noticed something or they just suspect that I'm looking at it wrong or whatever is that, well, if I don't do it, I have to do it to compete because others are doing it. I can't survive unless I do it. I understand it. That's I think a lot of them are truly in that position. I get it. And if it was an even playing field and nobody was doing that, I think it would be a much better thing. It would bring out true genetics, it bring out true feeding and management, all those things much, much better. But that's not the world we live in. Trying to get people to talk about it, trying to make things better, but sometimes we need a little bit of help. So Amanda, I appreciate the question, and we're not going to go horribly negative down that path and bring all the things out that are bad, because there's bad in everything. We hope to still focus on the good and keep moving forward and do better to self-regulate. We can't put all these things on the shows. They physically can't do it themselves. Breeders, influencers in our industry, those are the people that have to step up a little bit. James submits the third question. Dale and Ryan, thank you for uncovering all the do's and don'ts that most wanted to keep secret in the past. I assume that's just guidance, Ryan?
I don't know what the hell that means.
The second sentence, what show camps do you recommend for sheep and goats? Oh my.
I am not doing that.
This is your question.
I am not doing that.
You're going to let your sponsor down.
What sponsor? Oh, well, Creed, duh.
No,
Creed.
Not that. No, he's fitting. Your sponsor, Basic Animal Health, you're supposed to answer the questions.
Oh, I want them to... I was like,
and then
Creed
can help. Creed could help with. He may.
Creed could do.
Yeah, he does. I don't know that he does showmanship.
I am going to take the very politically correct stance on this. Unless you sponsored the BTRJLA like Creed Garrett, then I am not endorsing your camp.
I can go. I'm not afraid to jump in. Am I allowed to just call things out as they are?
I did. That's all you do. You do what you do.
Does that make you nervous?
No, it doesn't make me nervous.
Okay. I'm going to say that there are a lot of camps out there, guys, and just realize that every judge is going to want something done a little bit differently. So instead of just following the Bible, like what even with Ryan and I, what we tell you to do may not appeal to every judge. When a judge comes in and tells you to do something, the one that comes next may not. That show camp may tell you something to do that 30% of the judges are going to oppose and so forth. So don't, just like everything else in life, implement some common sense, think for yourself a little bit. And if there's not a practical, logical reason for doing it or not a purpose, then don't do it. It's very simple. Do everything with a purpose and use some common sense.
I am going to say this. I am not going to endorse anything other than Creed. But I am also going to tell you that there is not any camp that I am aware of that I would say don't send your kid to. But what I think the best thing to say here is whatever camp you send your kid to, the next year send them to somebody else so they learn from somebody else.
Let them realize there are differing opinions.
No camp is going to teach all the same stuff. No camp is exactly right. No camp is exactly wrong. All this other... Mine and Dale's advice on here. This is our opinion. It is an opinion.
May not apply to any of the other judges. We hope it does.
See, I wouldn't agree with that because we talk to more judges than anybody. So I'm not going to go that way. But I'm just saying, I think it's good general basic knowledge. But there may be somebody at the show that you go to this week. This podcast drops on Friday. And like when we did the showmanship episode, that podcast dropped on Friday. You listen to us and they think exact opposite. We can't control that. So my thing on this camp thing was there's no camp that I know of that I would say stay away from. But if you're going to send your kid to camps every year, I would probably try, unless you have a completely earth-shattering great experience with one, stick with that one. Send your kid to different camps so you can learn from everyone.
I think that's, even if you had a great experience with one, I still would expose your children to others.
Yep, I agree.
Excellent, Ryan. Well, I appreciate the late night. I think you're in Salt Lake. Chase and I just flew out of that airport yesterday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I love that airport. Everything's better than O'Hare.
I almost died in O'Hare today. So
terrible place. You just got to avoid it. Did you hear like 25 shootings this weekend, 5 deaths in Chicago? The mayor says nothing.
I did not.
Did you hear gunshots while at O'Hare or anything?
No, because this weekend I had the best weekend I've had in a very long time. I judged the toughest showdown I have ever judged in Iowa, and Saturday and Sunday I met up with a friend and just had a blast. So I didn't pay attention to anything all weekend. So yeah,
you were very quiet. I did not hear from you much.
No, nobody did, because I'm telling you, I've never had that much fun in that I can remember in a long time. So it was great.
Excellent. We like a happy gay.
There you go.
All good. Until next week. Be safe.
Y'all come back now, you hear?